Hi everybody, today I'm working on a 2005 Mini Cooper base manual transmission. Today I'll be replacing the transmission oil. This video covers all the manual transmission minis, basically every manual transmission mini, with a few small differences which I'll point out as we go. You'll need about 2 liters of transmission oil. Mini recommends MTF 94. I know that's the correct fluid for the Cooper S 2002 to 2006. I'll put a link in the description for all the other fluids if there's any differences for other cars. Other than MTF, the other popular fluid is a full synthetic Redline MTL. This is a great replacement fluid to use on these cars, and I think it's cheaper than the dealer. We've got a 2-gallon bottle here which comes with a nice pump, so this just screws into the top of the bottle and makes the job go pretty easy. You can also buy these in smaller containers, and I'll put a link in the description for that. Alright, we're under the car, and basically there's going to be 2 plugs. There's one on the bottom, which is the drain plug, and there's another one farther up, which is the fill plug. These are hex 8mm Allen key bolts. On the 2004 and earlier base Mini Cooper, there's going to be 17mm bolts on the opposite side of the transmission, but most of the other cars are going to have 8mm bolts on this side, one lower down, one higher up. So we're just going to crack this bolt, we're going to drain from the bottom bolt, and we're going to fill from the top bolt. It's really simple. We just put the bottom plug back in, and then we add to the top plug until it starts to drip back out. And it's important to do this when the car is on a level surface, or you may underfill because the plug is on the back side. Obviously, in order to get the car level, you're going to need to use a lift or 4 jack stands, or drive over a hole or whatever. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen the top one first, just to make sure that it actually comes out, because if we take the bottom one and drain the fluid out and can't get the top bolt out, that would be a problem. You can just pull hard, or I like to put a hammer and kind of tap it out. There we go, it's loosened up on us, no problem. I'll go ahead and take this plug out all the way. Some fluid dripped out when I did that. So this car may have been filled at an angle. It shouldn't drain out if it was properly filled, so looks like it may have been overfilled for whoever did the job last. So this plug is on here pretty tight. Sometimes you can just pull real hard and it'll come loose, or you could use a cheater bar, or what I like to do is use a hammer and kind of tap and use impact force to make it come loose. So I'm going to hold the drain plug up a little bit, otherwise it tends to overshoot the pan. I'm putting a little bit of pressure on it as I back it out. There we go. And this fluid's pretty gross, so looks like it was time to change it. Usually I don't spill, but because I'm on camera I spilled, of course. Murphy's Law. While that's draining, I'll get the new fluid in the pump ready. If you have an air compressor, one fun trick you can do is drill a hole in the cap, put a piece of flexible tubing into the cap, run that up into the transmission, screw it all down, and then actually drill a tiny hole in the side of the bottle, and then use compressed air to force the fluid out and up. And if you don't have either of those, you can add the fluid from the top, but you're going to have to take out the battery or the air box to do so. So we need to attach this tube here to get to the bottom of the bottle. Screw it in. Alright, we'll put the plug back in. I'll make it nice and tight. Now we can go ahead and start pumping back in. So we'll just put it into the hole. Alright, so we'll go ahead and pump the fluid in. And it's going to take a total of about 2 liters. And when it's full, it's just going to start dripping out from the fill hole. You're going to want to check every once in a while to make sure it doesn't come out on its own, because that'll make a big mess. The bottle's starting to get pretty light, so I think we're getting close. There we go. It's starting to drip back out on its own. You can see it starting to drip right here. So that means it's done. I'm gonna pull the fill tube back out. We'll go ahead and thread the plug back in and make it nice and snug. Alright, clean up the mess, and that's all there is. So that's all there is to it. That's how to replace the transmission fluid on a manual transmission Mini Cooper. It's a pretty easy job. You can do it yourself with just a few small tools. Let me know if you have any questions, and I'll put a link in the description with all the stuff. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye.